Hello and welcome back to another episode of Courageous Conversations 2. My name is Raven Dixon and today I am here with our CEO, Ms. Kim Bracey and Rasheen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited for this episode. We're going to be diving into mental health stigmas within minority communities, and I'm excited to have a professional like you in today's episode. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Raven. We appreciate the work that you've done up until now. Some of the things the YWCA had led. Want to mention those?
Yeah. Now, a couple months ago, we've had our Mental Health Month Symposium where we had a lot of mental health professionals come, and we had an open panel discussing all the disparities and ways to get resources and help with those aspects. And so I'm excited.
That was there was a focus on the BIPOC. We do so many things anymore with YWCA York. I try to keep up with it, but that was a great event indeed. It was a highlight of the month of July, mental health of Black, Indigenous people of color, Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And thank you so much for inviting me to join in this conversation, which is courageous conversation.
Yeah.
So, and this talking about mental health in the BIPOC community is really important, because when we all look at look at what is going on in our community right now, is most impact of mental health, and with limited access to resources for peoples of color. So it's really a conversation that is needed to continue so that we can make some changes.
Awesome.
Both within our community and at the higher level.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really important to continue to have this conversation.
We want to, we were talking, emphasize or highlight the need for, we're specifically talking about Black people. Taking care of their minds.
Mm-hmm.
I recently I told you about my knee surgery.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take care of our bodies, but we won't go take care of our minds.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that a lot in the work that you do? Are Black people getting mental health care?
With my experience, so when you look at a client that is coming, a majority are white people, not Black people. So we have some Black people, and when they come in, for real, I myself felt emotionally connected, like letting them know how I really appreciate them taking that courage to seek help, because I know the stigma that surround the topic of mental health in the Black community.
Yeah.
So which the stigma that surround that is not just a stigma that is existing just now or that the person created. It is something historically that is been there, because when we take a look at what is going on in our community, the mental health issue that is going on, it's historical, it's intergeneration that is being passed on from generation to generation.
Yes.
So, and it continues. And as it continues, which is being culturally too, it added to it, because we have some culture that tell us that we are strong people, we are so resilient. And as you said, we take care of our body, but not our mind.
Yeah.
So it's really important to take a look at that. Now, what can we do about this? How can we make some changes? With the changes have to come from places like this community.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
Indeed.
Encouraging people, providing access to services, creating awareness about mental health. So it's really important that we continue in that area to educate people, let people know that, okay, there's some services available. There's some services that you don't have to pay, because people think like, oh, maybe I don't have insurance. I don't, like the service that we are provided at YWCA.
Yes.
To victims of domestic violence and sexual assault are free.
Yeah.
They don't have to pay. But most people don't even know that.
I think these conversations are making sure we're in a community where it's safe to talk about it. Will allow people to really know that, YWCA York's services are free. No cost, put it that way, because somebody got to pay for it.
No
But there are no costs to folks that need it or want it, regardless of their background. But then when I come in and I see somebody that looks like me, that knows my experience probably, or knows what trauma looks like, because I just lived down the street where somebody just got shot. While I was in my mess, I mean, it has to make a person feel better about getting the assistance that they need. What would you say to that as well? I mean, particularly as a trauma counselor.
Yeah, people coming in to get the assistance to the need, and then maybe thinking of other people knowing that, oh, you seeking help. So when we look at that, like culturally, it kind of like portray like sign of weakness to people, like, okay, why you can't handle your issue, why you have to seek help, However, what people don't understand about trauma is we respond to trauma in a different way.
Absolutely.
What can be trauma to someone, I may be fine with it. What I may be traumatized by can be something that maybe another person will be like, yeah, that's okay. I'm okay. So that's how we saying it, like, okay, if the person need help, it's subjective to them. It's how they define it. It's how their body respond to the situation. So that is why it's really needed, like, okay, instead of maybe trying to blame the person, not believing what they're saying, we rather encourage them to seek help. We rather provide them with information that they need. So, and that helps people to like, okay, now I'm not alone. People understand what I'm going through.
Right. And you and I were talking about that. I mean, we, the oldest, male, et cetera. I mean, all those other things that go into who we are. I mean, we're so quick to take care of everyone else. As the oldest, I'm going to do that. Make sure my brothers and sisters are straight. Most men are making sure everyone around them are straight as well, too. And sometimes don't stop to even realize this trauma is affecting me, too. And I need some assistance. So it's good to have you part of the team leading that effort as well, too.
Thank you.
I had a question in regards to like your view on toxic masculinity and how that plays within the mental health stigmas, because I feel like a lot of men would benefit from going to resources like therapy or seeing somebody. But because of the way that our Black community tends to treat men as to be strong and carry things on their back, they are more hesitant with reaching out for that type of help.
Yeah, that is really absolutely true. And there are so many evidence that support that when you look at statistics, so Black men are not seeking help, but that doesn't mean we don't have trauma,
Absolutely.
we don't have needs, However, when you move it a little bit forward in that area, it's like talking about that stigma, the definition of mental health, the history that surround mental health, how mental health has been treated in the past, how people have been institutionalized, how when somebody maybe show the symptoms, how we view the person, how it make your voice not matter, even though when you express how you feel, and people think like, oh, you're going through something, instead of listening to you, what you're saying, and see what they can do. So based on that, like looking at a new way to do that is like, instead of thinking like something is wrong with people that is needing mental health intervention, is like something happened to them that their body is reacting to. So regardless of if the person is born with intellectual disability, something happened that make that happen. Nothing is wrong with them. They're just human beings.
Right.
So somebody is suffering from depression. Something happened that their body is responding to. So when we start changing that definition and letting people know that nothing is wrong with you,
Right.
something happened to you. So instead of labeling the person, we separate them from that, then we intervene by providing that support that person needs. So when we start having that, changing our perception on how we see mental health, then more Black men will start seeking help. More people will start reaching out for help. That, okay, nothing is wrong with me. Something did happen to me. And I believe if I come to you, even not going to an office, maybe, hey, as we're talking in our community, most people are religious and they go to church. Some go to their religious leader as being our counselor. Something wrong happened or something going on, you go to your pastor or you want to talk to them. Or some people have it trusted, like, okay, talk to my mom or talk to my dad, right? So however, when you look at our community too, okay, the people that we have to talk to, just as you said, they pouring out to everybody, but who is pouring into them? Exactly. So it's really challenging for them to even be able to hold that space for people that comes to them. So that's why it's really important for all of us to start looking from within and start changing that definition and start changing our perception of sin when people show symptoms of something is going on. It's like, okay, how can we help you? What happened? Okay. I'm here to listen.
I would like to really have a part 2. This has been really, really good. And I think one of the things I hear most is communication and sharing and letting people know the services are available to them. Particularly, again, through YWCA York and probably other places as well. But there's nothing wrong with getting mental health care.
Yes.
So thank you again for talking with me today. And thank you, Raven, for being our producer of all. And we hope to have a conversation maybe with you and Chastity or something down the road on this, because we got to keep the conversation going, I think, in order for our community to hear and to be like, okay, you know what, I'm going to go talk to someone, if nothing else. So
thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for all that you do as well. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Courageous Conversations 2 with Kim Bracey and Raven Dixon, where bold voices inspire brave action. Until next time, stay courageous.